Hell yeah. Welcome to episode 7 of the Temple Bard podcast with me, Jim Wynn, and Philip Noon, Vanity.
Jim, give me the definition of vanity.
Well, Philip, vanity here, we have it here on the computer. It says is excessive pride or admiration in one's own appearance or achievements. It flatters his vanity to think I'm in love with him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But that's not all. It's also a paradoxical thing. The quality of being worthless or futile, so doing something in vain.
Right. Oh, yeah, well, that, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, I never...
Yeah. I always find that in paradoxes is the most interesting spiritual stuff. So I saw that here and I thought that was very interesting. Vanity, like every other human trait, I think is a spectrum. So we all have vanity to some degree or another, some more than others. There's vanity in everything you do. Like having a podcast has some vanity to it. And we're probably doing, and some may say we're doing it in vain, Philip.
There's the paradox, right? There's the paradox in itself.
The notions that to do a podcast and also to do it in vain is vanity. But we live in a world where vanity is celebrated, would you say, more than ever?
More than ever, yeah.
I think like world leaders and celebrities always had vanity celebrated, but now there's a lot of people who look at their Instagram and it's literally just a wall of selfies. Like the same angle selfies.
I was actually thinking there, like, he has someone on his mind there.
I don't actually have anyone in particular, no. But I've just noticed it, like...
But if the shoe fits, whoever you are.
If the shoe fits, yeah. But it's not a bad thing. Like, nothing is a bad thing. Everything is part of the journey or whatever. But it's just something I've noticed. It's a spectrum, like every other human trait. Like, I put up videos with my son and stuff like that, and there's some vanity in that. Like,
but they're deadly.
Yeah, they're deadly, but you want people to, in some way you want people. It's the same with doing music, releasing music. Like,
does it play on your dopamine as much as it does on your vanity? Because getting a like is like getting a, it is a dopamine
it's like
hit.
A pat in the back, like a virtual pat in the back. Yeah, I get.
Like they've likened it to eating chocolate, or they've likened it to, like.
What I've noticed that or my ego wants more than likes. When you put something on Instagram, you can look at the insights, and I'd rather have something go out to more people that aren't my followers.
Yeah,
so people I don't know, people who know me. But if you want to do, I'd rather get music or stuff I create out to a further audience. Of course,
but then if you think about it, people are fucked because you can put out something beautiful and it'll get to 600 people, or I could put out something lovely that we think this is it, this is good, this is going to click, and it goes out to nobody.
Yeah,
and then some drunk woman falls over the stage when I'm in the middle of a song and it gets 2.5 million views. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Everything is as it should be. At the end of the day, you really have no control once you've left it. There is ways to hack the algorithm and do all these things.
Do you know something? There is something I am going to say on that.
Go on.
So, your woman that did fall across the stage,
right? Did you ever get her name?
So, no. So, it was during the COVID time. You remember
Explain it for people that don't know, yeah.
Right, so for anybody who hasn't seen it, there's a video, it went viral. It was actually shared on MTV's Ridiculousness in the US. So on US television, I'd say it was millions and millions and millions of people watched that in America, because it's MTV. What happened was, it was COVID. We had dance restrictions in because you couldn't dance because people couldn't be within 2 meters and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was just when we were coming back into the real world after COVID. She kept getting up to dance. I kept telling her to stop. She kept getting up to dance. She was very drunk. Anyway, I was in the middle of singing a song, an Irish song called The Galway Girl, and she did this big walk away from me. Like, so she gets on the dance floor, but she's walking away from me, and then she just starts backing up very, very fast, very fast, very fast towards me, and I'm thinking, she's not going to stop. I'm thinking, she's not going to stop. But anyway, she falls across the stage, and legs go up in the air and everything is on display, and somebody just happened to be sitting right in front of the stage and just happened to get it all on camera. So it went viral on all across social medias and all that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing about it is MTV, they're a company called Super Jacket Promotions.
Yeah.
They run MTV's Ridiculousness. Now,
that's your man, the skateboard fella, no?
Tyler Durdeck or whatever his name is. So they run this show or whatever. Now, this girl falling across the stage, they sent me an email and they were like, we're going to give you $800 to license the video. Right? Sound. No problem. Now, they've played the video. They've never given me any money to license it. And most recently, Dana White has come out and he said that he owns Super Jacket Promotions. So Dana White, where's my money?
Dana White owes you some money.
Dana White owes me $800.
Maybe he just doesn't have it. Dana White, times are tough for him.
Dana White.
Have you heard stuff about him that he's got some mad gambling
Oh no, he's a big gambler. So he's up 16 million this year against Caesar's Palace.
Right.
So what he says is he goes in and he has a credit line with them of $6 million.
Yeah.
He said he'll go in and he'll win $1 million and he'll leave. But if he doesn't win that $1 million, he'll blow 6 million to try and win the $1 million. And then when he waxes that, he walks out. So he could be 6 million down some nights.
Yeah.
But overall, over the year, he calls it a war with them, and he's up like 16 million this year so far.
Like Vanity, it's a spectrum. Like of 6 million to someone that has hundreds of millions isn't really that much. Like it's more like €50 to us on a horse race or something.
But then you see, but then in gambling too, right? The psychology behind gambling's mad.
It's a vanity as well, because you believe that you know something that is
they
unknowable.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Religion, everything has vanity to it. But yeah.
I think the psychology of gambling is mad as well, because in terms of dopamine, the spike in dopamine to a loss is almost the same as a win. As a matter of fact, sometimes it can be a bigger dopamine spike in a loss because you go so close.
Yeah.
And then it loses.
A close loss, yeah.
A close loss. And I think that's what gamblers
Not like
chase.
betting on Ireland to get into the Euro. That's what it's like. Where there's never any dopamine. There's just, you're a dope, I mean.
Actually, I'd love to have anybody in the gambling industry or anybody in the, that'd be something good.
I know people that have worked for Paddy Power. Supposedly very good place to work.
A friend of mine works for them.
I stopped using Paddy Power because they fucked me. It was Real Madrid. It was a few years ago, and it went to extra time, and I bet on Benzema to score first in extra time and Madrid to win or something like that. And it went through, and literally as soon as it went through, there was a penalty. Madrid got a penalty and Benzema scored it, and the bet was a 1, and they paid out, and the next day they'd taken the money back and cancelled the bet. And I was like, Paddy, for all your funny videos and good marketing, you can go and fuck yourself now. You can go on over to Betfred. You can fuck yourself now, Paddy.
Well, wait till I tell you this one, right? So I'm not going to name him because my friend still works within the company. Yeah. So-called friend. Wait till you hear this. Game of Thrones was coming out, and Paddy Power had a novelty bet. Yeah. Did I ever tell you this? They had a novelty bet on over or under how many pairs of breasts were going to be shown in the first 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Right? That was grand. So it was just one of those novelty bets you could bet on. Now, the first 4 episodes leaked online, right? It was like over 22 pairs or under 22 pairs. There were only 2 pairs of breasts shown in the first 4 episodes.
22 pairs or 22 breasts?
22 pairs.
It'd be funny if they had 19 breasts.
No, but so it was over 20.
A side boob to get the win.
I think it was over. It was either over. Look, it was the over or under, but there'd only been 2 pairs.
Right.
So I said, by the process of elimination here, there's not going to be 18 or 19 pairs or 20 or 21 pairs of breasts in the next 2 episodes. So I was like, I'm going to make a fortune here.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I'm going to bet on this. So me and a friend of mine, we bet on it. But for the crack, we rang our other friend and we were like, we have yous. We were like, look what we're after doing.
Yeah.
The first 4 episodes leaked and all. Just not because we thought he was sound.
He'd have a laugh about it.
I was actually drinking with him 2 days ago. He is sound-ish. Yeah.
But a bit of a tit, ironically.
But just, he said, is that true? Yeah, they've leaked the, all right, that's grand. Hung up on us. Went and took the bet down, cancelled the bet, took the bet down off the website, and we never got our money. So yeah, Paddy Power, you've got a good one there. I'm not naming him.
Yeah, well, he's probably the fucking president now.
Which
he's the way. He's probably the one that said anyone that got Benzema for that goal. It was too close. Fuck him off.
But so that's the thing about the gambling industry. There's a very grey area in that, like, on their terms and conditions, depending on what the bet is, they can decide. They can nearly put anything in. Now, you can have a straight up bet, you know what I mean? Where you have €100 on somebody to win, and they win, and they pay you out. But then over the course of, especially when it gets to like yellow cards and corners.
Opta is part, like they're all.
Do you know what I mean? So like shots on target.
Oh, there's some fucking.
Like I've seen shots.
Ones.
I've seen shots on target, and they've been like, no.
Yeah, that's not a shot on target.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Not a shot on target, you cunts.
So like that's, if they're in with Opta or they're in with that other company, they're called WhoScored.com.
Yeah.
And Paddy Power and Boyle Sports work with these companies, and they're like, we get our stats off them.
Yeah.
And Sky Bet. So what like they can just give that company an extra couple of grand.
It gives them plausible deniability, as the Americans say whenever they bomb somewhere. Plausible deniability. Well, it wasn't really us. The same thing with DistroKid. I've had recently a lot of fucking just so many problems with releasing music and getting stuff taken down and then stuff not appearing on your page, and they just basically say to everything, oh, that's Spotify. I'm seriously considering taking everything down off Spotify.
But now with everything, right, if you think about it, right, like Spotify, everything down to your bank, right? If you have a problem with anything now, you're in a queue to talk to a robot.
Yeah.
Before you do anything.
Dave, our AI guy.
I
just go
Dave.
human. And they go, how can I help you now? And I, human. And they go, blah, 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 and you just keep putting human, and eventually they'll give you to someone, and then they reply to you in 7 to 8, 9 working days.
But that's what I mean. So you said that.
Yeah.
You did something and it was like,
I did we
get back to you in 7 to 9 working days.
I put a song out offline, and it turned out that it wasn't anywhere on my page or on my Spotify for Artists, which is a thing you get when you release music. And you could find it manually by searching it on Spotify, but it wasn't anywhere on my page. And what they say in DistroKid, they hype you up about everything, about getting everything ready for release day, having everything ready. No stress, they release everything and you don't have to do anything else. And basically what happened was, on release day, my song wasn't anywhere to be found on my page. When you searched it manually and sent the link to someone, it played like some random other song, like Beyonce.
That's mad.
I know, I don't mind helping out Beyonce and Elton John.
For the few pounds.
They needed my help. But it's just fucking crazy. They always just say it's something to do with the Spotify algorithm or something like this. And my other song before that, Dystopian Reality Show, they took down for, they said fake streams. So there's basically, they say now that you can't pay anything to promote your music with other companies. So I was paying to pitch songs to playlists. So there's no guarantee of plays on it. There is ones that you can guarantee plays, which are like.
But I think back in the early days of Spotify, I think what happened was didn't people have stream farms?
Yeah, there is obviously, and I can see why they would want to fight that. But what happened was on DistroKid, they just gave you an option that said, Spotify have taken this down. You have to just say, yes, I agree that all these streams were fake. And you have no other option.
DistroKid, by the way, are a company that you send your music to.
Yeah, and they distribute it.
They distribute
it. But also, Spotify. If I looked at my Spotify for Artists on that song, something like more than I'd ever have before, 40% was Spotify algorithmic playlists. Yeah. I don't know how that's possible. And then you just have to agree all the streams were fake. You'll never get any money for it. I wasn't expecting any money for it anyway. But it got taken down. And now I have to, if I want to put it back up, I have to re-upload it elsewhere and start it from nothing.
Well, I believe the labels are more heavily involved in it now than I think the labels have kind of taken it. There was a time where it was almost like a golden age to be alive, because like there was a time where everything could go viral. Everything had the potential to go viral. Yeah. Now it's
now it's more curated. Yeah. That was the whole business model of everything, social media and streaming. It's like you start off, you get everyone hooked, and then you start having to pay for things. I do think it's actually still a golden age in a lot of ways, because even though there's more, all the money from streaming really goes to a few people, there's people and bands and people who have a following that could sell out shows that haven't ever and will never hear of.
Of course.
And that wouldn't happen before. Before there was only like people you'd heard of through radio or whatever. So I still do think that there's some benefit to a lot of people.
What do you think of this big explosion in country music again? So like Beyonce's going country, Post Malone's going country.
Yeah.
Then they've got these new country stars, Morgan Wallen and all. Like this boy sold out Dublin. He's coming to Dublin. He sold out Dublin in minutes. Like.
Yeah, because I remember they did a country to country thing a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, in Dublin, and it did very well. I like country music more than I'd like most hip hop music myself, because I've always been a sucker for lyrics that are meaningful, not like what I would say is bland. I was in my truck and got my beer, saw my lady over here, said to her, hey. That's not getting me. But country music that has like deep, heartfelt meaning, clever lyrics. I'm into all that stuff. Like, so a lot of the newer lads are more like that. So yeah, I'm into it.
But just on that, today, the biggest disco is on. Have you seen this?
No.
It's on Leopardstown today. So it's like all the DJs from the late 90s, early noughties.
All right.
Like Mario Picotto and
All
Mark
the
McCabe,
boys.
Maniac 2000.
All the boys I swung a jar back in the day.
Maniac.
Yeah. Is it after races?
No, it's just on all day.
They've
just got all so I didn't know it was on until this morning.
Yeah.
Now I have a gig tonight, but that would have been deadly to go to.
I went to Marley Park for a walk with the young fella yesterday, and it was closed down because they're doing all the gigs there now.
Were the Killers on there?
I think the Killers, supported by our old friend Travis.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. It's Travis are back ever since I liked something from Travis that I hadn't heard of in 20 years before that. Now I'd seen them everywhere. So
maybe you brought them back.
They've got I did bring them back. You're welcome, Travis. Good band. It's good to see bands like that come back.
Who else? Nelly Furtado.
Nelly Furtado's back.
Man, Nelly Furtado played a Forbidden Fruit. We did it again. She played it Forbidden Fruit last weekend or the weekend before.
Yeah?
And apparently everybody was going, man.
Another thing about the music industry now is there's a huge value to nostalgia. So little new music is coming through because there's such a fucking load of older music to choose from, and people will always go for something that catches an emotion or a time. Like we talked about before, the Alive Inside, dementia, like people hear a song from their youth that brings it back to a memory, and that's something that people cling to or people enjoy listening to. So that's
Do you have
why...
any songs like that? Do you have any songs like that? Do you have a song that can just bring you back to a moment?
Loads, yeah. Anything by Paul Simon or James Taylor. These bring me back to me dad. I remember Michael Jackson sitting in me when I was 5 or 6. I loved Michael Jackson when I was 5 or 6. He might have loved me too, but
Just going to say that.
there's a picture of me actually going to school for a costume
With a silver glove on.
with a blackface.
No way.
At 6 or 7 years of age.
Oh my.
And it's me and Mike dressed up as Michael Jackson. If I had to go, and then a few years later, I would have had to put on a whiter face. But yeah, I seen a picture of me going as Michael Jackson with the bad T-shirt on and a silver glove and blackface shoe polish. I think it was. It wasn't racist in the 80s, kids.
You could get away with anything in the 80s. Even
Well, it wasn't. You didn't know any better. This was like I idolised the man. I wasn't trying to make fun of him.
No, but wait here. If you go and you watch episodes of Friends, some of the earlier episodes of Friends,
Yeah.
the racism, the homophobia in it, like everything is like it's all just joked about.
Yeah.
Now I know the death of wokeism. Now we're coming back to everybody just being like, relax, like.
Yeah.
But back then you were getting away with murder.
Yeah,
like.
well, it wasn't even seen as getting away with murder back then. It was just the way it was, and then it became the way it is, and then that'll also become the way it was. I think as these things come together, like so, there was racism, sexism, homophobia. A lot of that has been historical, and like so, it's energy built up in hatred or misunderstanding. And then when we come to a place where it's starting to open up, obviously the pendulum swings too much one way, so it becomes like anything you say, people jump on, and that's even in reality not. Like it's an online thing in general. When you meet people, I've never had someone on the street go crazy about something stupid, like or misrepresent something you said. So it's just a small swing of the pendulum.
Well, after a few pints,
after a few
pints,
you can't be saying that.
After a few pints, someone always twists what you've just said. Up until a certain point, I'm a great drunk. Like up until a certain point, I'm great crack.
Yeah,
and then it's almost as if like I just twist the screw or something.
Yeah, just a light switch. And what happens to you when you turn the screw and you don't notice it happening?
I don't. Like, I notice it the next day.
Yeah.
When everybody's telling me about it.
Yeah.
I know, but like I suppose it's just up to a certain point. Maybe it's elements of my trauma that come out. I don't know, but it's like something clicks and it's like, right, let's cause a bit of havoc here. Everybody's night's just going a bit too well for me.
Yeah. These people all seem a bit too relaxed and happy now. I think it's time to throw a little paranoia in here. But there's some people, I've known them over the years, that are just really mean drunks. Just something happens when they get drunk that they do mad things. Like, absolutely. Like, I've seen people that just have a few drinks or whatever and out of nowhere just drop kick someone in the middle of a party or pull a knife on someone or mad things.
Pull a knife on someone.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
We're running different circles. James.
It's been a journey. But yeah, I've seen mad things like that. Like, people just, and it comes from nowhere. It's a funny thing. And people say that your true feelings come out when you're drunk, but I don't think that's true either. I think you do things when you're drunk that you would never even ever thought you'd do when you're sober.
But did you ever notice, like, you just see someone, like, no messing, drunk, and let's say like big groups of people, you always see mad stuff.
Yeah.
At concerts, it's always someone that climbs the rigging.
Yeah.
Climbs the rigging at the side of the stage and gets up and everybody's like, and normally they get back down grand. Now I'm sure once or twice there's probably been a couple of falls, but people do just outrageous shite.
I saw one the other day.
People
saw a video of someone Coldplay on the front of the stage. Someone that tried to climb up that, obviously on like a 9 or 10 foot stage.
Yeah.
With all these lights that look like monitor wedges around it. And your man's trying to climb the monitor wedges and suddenly the whole thing collapses.
Oh, gee.
And there's Chris Martin. Stop, running over going, "Yeah, right, pal." Or you ever see a man from Pearl Jam climbing the fucking rigging?
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Lunatic.
That was fucking madness. That was a madness. I actually watched the thing about bank robber on Netflix the other day, and he reminded me of kind of vanity in a way. He was a doctor, a med student, and then he got into creating crystal meth, and that got too much for him. So then he started doing bank robberies, and he was inspired by Point Break. He was called Hollywood. They called him the Hollywood bank robber.
No way.
He was a mad character. He had a tree house that he built in the middle of nowhere. He was mad hippie stuff in Seattle in the 90s it was. And they used to go rob banks, and then eventually his last job he tried to do 3 in one night, ended up getting shot. A few there.
Oh, they killed him, did they?
He killed himself when they surrounded him, but they'd already shot up the van and everything they were in and shot 2 of his accomplices.
Legend.
I won't spoil it for you, but it was that's pretty much spoiled.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
It's pretty much spoiled now.
That's very good of you. Yeah. Sorry.
Him dying really isn't the story.
Tells me the whole thing.
You kind of assume he's going to die from the start because you don't see him getting interviewed, you know. Everyone's getting interviewed except him.
But I hate that. You know them films that start at the beginning or they end at the beginning.
Yeah.
I
don't mind the films doing it, but I hate any series that goes this season on fucking. It just shows you everything's going to happen for the season, like I watched that Golden. Remember I told you about Golden?
Yeah.
Which is like Pawn Stars. There's a new series of that. And I watched the first episode. And at the end of the first episode, it goes, this season on Golden. And does like a 4-minute montage of everything that they're going to do. Why would you do that? I'm already here. I've watched to the end of the show. I'm going to watch the next one. I'm on binge mode. Leave me be. Don't ruin it for me. And I watched the whole thing last night.
The only one that did it really well was The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Because you do see him get shot at the beginning. And he is holding himself and he's bleeding out.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, did he die or didn't he die? But then he's there and you're like, oh, he's grand.
Yeah.
But he's not, he's dead.
Yeah, that was a shock. I didn't see that one coming.
No, I didn't see, I thought that was brilliant. But that was really well done.
God bless Bruce Willis. We love that man.
McGregor pulled out.
I saw that. I don't follow the sport or anything about it, but I wasn't surprised.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say about it is I don't know what happened, but it's really serious.
Oh,
because Conor McGregor religiously posts pictures of himself on the hour nearly to his story on Instagram.
Right.
Now, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
He went online. Did I send you these screenshots? He was going into the Guinness forums on Facebook, on his normal Facebook page.
No.
And going into the Guinness forums and calling Arthur Guinness a bootlicker and saying that Guinness is shite and the harp is backwards on Guinness because Arthur, he just starts slating him.
Yeah.
Not like in community forums,
Right.
on the Guinness, we love Guinness forum. You're like this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And
Is that guerrilla marketing?
So I would have said yeah, but then so this is on a Saturday, right?
Right.
So he's obviously on a mad one to do like it is.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday, he puts up this big post. Forged Irish Stout is rocket fuel for the Mickey. Just out of nowhere, Forged Irish Stout is rocket fuel for the Mickey, right? And he's got a press conference on the Monday, so I'm like, he's still on it. I'm like, he's still on it, So the Monday morning, they're like, due to unforeseen circumstances out of our control, this is called off. Yeah. Now, since that, he hasn't posted one relevant, up-to-date picture of himself online.
So never mind vanity, we could be talking about the fear.
Well, the fear, or maybe like I don't know, maybe he's in a training camp or maybe treatment or maybe
when was the fight supposed to be?
In 2 weeks.
Right.
The end of June. Now, that's just me. That's me just.
Yeah.
Maybe
speculate.
Maybe he's.
That's what everything is.
Maybe he's something like that. Just because he's. I know he was on a really, really mad one for a long time.
Yeah.
And now he's just got he's just gone. There's radio silence. Yeah. Everything that goes up is pictures of the yacht or pictures of the Black Forge or So
Yeah.
So I don't know. But look, as I've said, I'm a fan. I love him. I flew to Vegas to see him. I hope that he comes back at some stage bigger and better.
Well, as we said before, and we said about Michael Jackson, I think we said about McGregor as well at the time. Some people, they think that someone gets this loads of millions and billions and suddenly they become perfectly rounded and happy people. It's just not the way it works.
You give me that money and I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly. 99% of people you give that money to, they'd be dead.
He's had that money since 2015 or 16. I would be stone dead.
Yeah.
2015 and 16 were probably some of the wildest years of my life, and I had no money.
You take it from someone who's grown up. Where's he from? He's from Crumlin or something.
Crumlin, yeah.
Yeah, so he's grown up in a rough area, and then it's all about people are idolizing rappers, which is another people who come from poor beginnings, and it becomes like a matter of vanity. That's what turned me off a lot of rap music, because there's so much vanity and it's talking about the cars they have. A bit like having the truck and the beer and the country music.
But like, if you think about it, right, this is actually very interesting you said that. So if you look at how there are tech billionaires, right, you look at how they spend their money, right? Now compare that to how a boxer or a footballer or a rapper spends their money, which were kind of like a lot of like footballers come from working class backgrounds, predominantly soccer players. Yeah. Then they're given hundreds of millions or whatever, right? Same with rappers, same with kind of boxers, MMA fighters and things. Look at how they spend their money in terms of like cars, shoes, watches. And then look at how, like, let's say a CEO who earns maybe equally as much, who's probably earning $500,000 a week, spends their money. It's mad. Is it because of
an insecurity?
Or is it a lack of education?
I don't think it's a lack of education. I think it's insecurity and the fact that that's the way that the culture has evolved. So the culture evolves as like a hip hop, which blew up now. Like, there's obviously some fantastic hip hop that's really soul touching and all, but on the surface of it, a lot of it is just vanity about like, I have this, this is how I got here. On the grind, all this shit, like, and
it's cool to be on the grind,
and that's what people aspire to. Like, I had a conversation with one of my sons there. He was like, "If I was a billionaire, I'd be happy," and I was like, "But how would you be happy?" Because people always think that something's going to make them happy, but the only thing that makes you happy is happiness, and happiness isn't something that you get from anything outside of yourself. It's something that's inside.
Happiness is found within.
Yeah, happiness is only found within, and with acceptance and contentment. But when you put what you got, like, I'll only be happy when I get this. Anyone who's got what they always dreamed of will tell you that it's not what they thought it was going to be. Jim Carrey said he'd love for everybody to be rich and famous for a day, just so they could see that it's not what you think it's going to be.
I'd say
there was videos of him when he was younger talking about how he can't wait to be walking down the street and everyone recognise him and all, and now he's realised that that's not.
Did you ever hear his $10 million story?
No.
He wrote
something about a check.
He wrote himself a check in like 1992 or 93 for $10 million. And he dated it like 2 years ahead of itself.
Yeah.
And I think so he did like Dumb and Dumber, he did something else, but then when he did The Mask, he got $10 million for The Mask. Yeah. And apparently it was like in the same month check he had written.
It's like a manifestation thing. I want this car, so I'm going to manifest this car. But I mean, it can work if you're completely focused on a car, but a car is not what you really want.
No.
You want to be happy. If you really, really think that a car will bring you happiness, you'll probably end up getting the car.
Well, look, it's like anything. If you want something, you can do it.
Yeah.
If you want something bad enough. Yeah. If you're good at something. Yeah. Just laser focus on that and just push it as far as you can go.
Yeah.
And lose sleep, lose friends, lose your family, lose everything. But you can do it.
Yeah.
But is it worth losing all those things in the meantime? Like if you look at
do you really want it?
Do you know what I mean?
Just think you want it. I get to a certain point and I go, I couldn't be arsed doing this anymore. I don't care about pushing it to the grind or whatever.
But that's the difference with that's the difference with us and Jeff Bezos. Like him and Elon Musk were like, you know what? I'm going to cut everybody out and I'm just going to be an alien. And I'm just going to do this and I'm going to be an alien. And that's going to be...
Which is, again, another beautiful part of the whole collective. Like, these are people... Like, celebrities they're no more important than anybody else or anybody else's job. But there's something that they become like a touchstone where people can love or hate a celebrity for some reason. And it's a good way of examining yourself, what it is about this celebrity that you like and what it is about this celebrity that you don't like. And being able to see, like, what I've found... We always think of things as objective, like this is good music, that's bad music. This is a good film, that's bad film. But it really only depends on the eyes that are seeing it, because nobody has the exact same view of the world. So even something that's universally a terrible film, someone liked it.
Yep.
The person who made it liked it.
Except for the cable guy.
I like the cable guy. There you go. There you go. I like the cable guy. I would have written him a check for $10 million.
Oh, you don't like the cable guy.
I did like it.
Oh, Jesus.
I did like it. I thought it was weird. It reminded me a bit of The Lawnmower Man. Do you remember that film?
Yeah. That was Robin Williams.
Was it Robin
Williams? No, that was Bicentennial Man. No, that wasn't him either, was it? Was Bicentennial Man the one with the gorilla? See, on Joe Rogan, we just say Jimmy pulled that up there. And then
yeah, Jimmy pulled it up there. Yeah, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams with Bicentennial
Sam
Man.
Neill. I don't think I've seen that film.
It's good.
He's like a golden robot.
Yeah, it's very good.
I haven't seen that.
Now listen, it's no cable guy, but fuck's sake. What about Tron?
Tron. I've never seen Tron.
Tron's a great film.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tron's very good.
There's a new one, no?
Yeah, but the original's class. Very neon.
Yeah.
All very neon. It's cool.
Did you ever get into any of the Star Wars?
No.
No, me neither.
Was never into Star Wars, was never into Star Trek.
No, me neither. I watched one Star Trek film.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Trek.
Trek.
In Ireland we say track and it means trek.
Yeah. Like, what was one of the first films you can remember seeing in a cinema when you
In
were
a
young?
cinema.
I think mine was Baby's Day Out. Do you remember Baby's Day Out?
Yeah, I watched that in the cinema as well.
That was a
great
that
film.
was a cracker.
That was the thing. Look Who's Talking, I think, was one of them.
That was a great film.
Yeah. I remember watching Look Who's Talking. I think it was my communion. We had dinner somewhere, and then we went to see Look Who's Talking, the first one. I watched it like 2 months ago with the missus. It's fucking brilliant.
Ah, no, it's still class.
It's brilliant.
It's still class. Bruce Willis and
Bruce Willis did the voice of the baby.
John Travolta
John
was
Travolta.
yeah.
John Travolta's a legend as well. Love that guy.
He's in Ireland quite a bit.
Is he?
Yeah, so he always flies to
flies his
Shannon.
planes, yeah.
He flies to Shannon a good bit apparently. I was reading about it.
In the CIA, is he?
Have you ever seen Homeland?
Yeah.
Very good.
Good show. Is it still going?
No.
No.
It was very true to life.
The fella died out of it, Sal. Sal, did he?
So did he read?
I
Yeah.
think so. I feel like he died recently, in the last few years.
Oh, that's sad. I liked him. Saul
Yeah,
Behrens.
very good actor.
Her character is so good that I want to box the head of her every time she does something because she's so frustrating.
Yeah.
She gets herself in so many handlings that she doesn't have to be in, and she infuriates me. Like,
Yeah.
everything she does, I'm like, everything's going so well, and then she just finds a way to fuck it all up, and I'm like,
self-sabotage.
but then it turns out she did the right thing and she's a genius.
Yeah. But as we discussed before, TV and movies now, it's become so nuanced. It's not just a simple arc of a story anymore. There's ups and downs, and there's like people's personalities cause them to be self-sabotaging, or good guys do bad things, bad guys do good things. It's just an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
Well, when you were saying there about self-sabotage, and we do link it with vanity, what about cosmetic surgery?
Yeah, that's another one.
It's bigger now than it ever was.
Yeah, and not just surgery, but all the procedures like the lip fillers and arse fillers and getting something sucked out of here and put it in there.
Like I've had a hair transplant. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah.
That's a vanity thing as well. Yeah?
I went bald when I was started going bald when I was like 26.
Yeah.
And then in 2018 when I was like 32 or 33.
Yeah.
I went and got it done. Everybody's getting hair transplants now.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to
the teeth.
Turkey.
Well,
getting
these
the
teeth
done.
I got these teeth done, but it was before it was like a thing. I didn't get it done in Turkey. I got it done in Shankill Village. Before I had kids, I had like 3 or 4 years where I drank cans every day, and drinking out of the can especially, you suck it through your teeth. The dentist told me this, and I had holes in all the tops of my front teeth.
No way.
They're all gone yellow, and they were all like had holes in the tops of them.
Are you serious?
So what I had to get done was to get the teeth shaved down, and then these.
So they're all crowns, are they, on the
These
front?
first, I think there's 6 of them here.
Or like veneers?
Veneers, yeah. And then I chipped one of them a few years ago on a fucking. Did you ever have like duck pancakes?
Yeah.
With the plum sauce, lovely, like you horsed into them.
Yeah.
But someone had made them and left a bone in there, and I went to horse into them and went, ping, chipped half the tooth off.
So I saw there was a Kylie Jenner or a Kendall Jenner challenge about a year ago, where kids were like putting like a glass up to their mouth and like sucking the glass up to their face, so their lips would like swell way up.
Yeah. We talk about how rappers end up spending all their money on shite, but this is how teenagers end up spending all their money on, which, the culture is the culture and it moves the way it does. So I can't, to me, it looks ridiculous. But who am I? I'm an old cunt. But people have to do what they want, and it's their bodies, they can do what they want with it. But to me, it's good looking girls who now I look at their Instagram and it just looks like they're like a plastic brat doll. But again, that's only my perspective of it. So I can't, like, to other people, maybe that's what they like. Maybe that's what is coming through the culture as what is attractive or whatever.
So when I was living out in Qatar, a lot of Arabic women, they love like a lot of cosmetic surgery, like the fillers and the Botox and everything. Listen, here everybody's getting fillers, everybody's getting Botox. That's but there it was done to the extreme. Like, it was like everybody was so.
I wonder if that's part of. But they're not all in hijabs over there, no?
Yeah, that's you only see their face.
Yeah. As we talked about before, the East and West coming together and the cultures joining, like we've said before about. People saying that the Arabs are trying to sports wash everything and all this, whereas I see it as dualities collapsing on each other. These things come together and eventually they level each other out. So it's the same with the cosmetic surgery or the Arab involvement in sport or tourism.
Dana White was talking about the Arab involvement in sport last week on the Flagrant podcast, and he was saying, you know, that they're just able to throw so much money at it because he's trying to promote this new thing. Have you seen this slap tournaments? So he's trying to promote that.
It's everywhere.
That's what he was saying. He was saying it's everywhere now, like,
Yeah.
And that's obviously where he's spending all his money, and that's why he hasn't given me any of mine. Where's my $800, Dana?
Yeah. He's sitting there going, that Philip Newman lad.
Yeah,
no
I know.
fucking way."
I heard it was personal. Like,
He didn't like the way he talked about McGregor back in the day.
So I did hear about on cosmetic surgery. You can go now and you can get like Dubai done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get what done?
So I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't think it's like a lengthening or a thickening. I think it's like they put in these like silicone rings or something.
Right.
To give it like a ribbed effect, but like of like an actual human penis. Like, so this is what they.
I wonder, is that vanity? Because you're doing that for someone else. So I wonder, would you call that vanity?
Yeah, that's actually very interesting,
Isn't it? That's like a service to others' choice.
But so then it comes under insecurity
Yes, probably.
because then you feel that the boy's not.
Are you putting that in there in vain?
There's the paradox. Because years they've had like vaginal rejuvenation for years, like after people have babies to go back in.
Yeah.
You know, they do all. And actually in the Arab world, that's very big.
Is it, yeah?
Yeah, that's like a lot of Arab women, that's a very big thing over there. And now they've gone on to this. I want to get my knees done. I want to be 6'7". Like I want to play basketball.
Like in South Park.
In South Park. I want to get a big shark fin on my back. Get wings. But like, you know, but that's the way South Park hit that very well. They hit, like, you know, hit the nail in the head. Because we are going that way, everything's so mad.
Yeah.
Like,
just talking about vanity there, I just had a bit of a realization or whatever. Like all the problems I've had with tension over the years and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things I was doing that was causing it a lot was trying to hold my stomach in a lot. I think a lot of the day I was spending trying to hold my stomach in, or, you know, trying to tense it up. And what I was doing was just adding tension to my body. So that was probably a vanity thing that was contributing to there was a lot of different factors involved in that, which fucked me up for many, many years. But I think that's something that I have to consciously do now, because I notice myself in public and if I look down and I think my stomach is sticking out too far, sometimes I'll pull it in. But nowadays I just go, let it go. Just let it go.
So what I do when my weight kind of goes up and down. Like it's very easy for me to put on weight.
Yeah.
Like if I just go off the rails a bit, like, and just start eating shite for a while, but it all goes into me chins.
Right.
So I get like really just under me.
Hamstered.
Yeah. So really heavy under me chins. So I'm always kind of
Bit of Botox to fit that.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have to get one of those neck tucks. Is that what they are?
But just get a clothesline or a clothes peg at the back.
And just put it back. Yeah. But I was always conscious of that for photos and all, lifting my head up and all.
Yeah.
Whenever I'd a bit of weight in me, because I'd have a wee smile going on underneath my mouth.
It's funny how we all have these things. I'd say definitely anyone who's grown up in the Western culture has probably these insecurities and these things that nobody else notices about them, but they notice about themselves. Because I never would have thought that about you. I never would have noticed you having big chins or anything like that. But everyone does. Like, fucking, only for the beard I'd have the same.
I'm gonna grow a beard.
Yeah, should suit you.
It would.
Well, it suits me because if you've seen my face before, it's just completely round.
Have a look at the before and after pictures of Beckham's hair transplant.
Yeah.
Beckham's is amazing. Rooney's had two. Rooney's second was in Dublin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? I don't know.
So,
why would you go to Turkey then? Probably fucking mucho dinero.
yeah, because you see, well, in Turkey they're not up to, like, in Turkey I've heard some horror stories too. Like, you know, you hear like, boys coming back badly scarred and, like, you know.
Didn't Kanye West die from his plastic surgery?
No way.
Yeah, pretty sure. No, I could be talking shite here.
Was she getting the shark fin done?
Who did I say?
Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye West. I thought I said Kendrick Lamar there for a minute, and I was like, I don't know that for sure. Yeah, Donda West died during surgery, plastic surgery, of a coronary artery disease. So it wasn't. It was during the operation, but I don't think it was the actual cause of death. Or
So her heart was bad, and then when they were giving.
well, that's what they're saying here. I'm sure any plastic surgeon, that was the first thing their lawyers would say.
Of course.
Surgery or anesthesia cited in death of rapper's mother.
So thanks everybody for listening to Temple Bard Podcast. We're going to aim to get it out on maybe a Tuesday every week. Like, humans are creatures of habit, and we're glad that you're including us in your habit at the moment.
So that's it for episode 7 of the Temple Bard Podcast. Vanity, call me Mr. Raider, call me Mr. Wrong. Sláinte.